A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
And a very pleasant Friday, an early weekend for us, a special edition Friday afternoon of U.S. Premier Hockey. And we have the Chicago Cougars and the Illiana, I gotta get that word right, Illiana Blackbirds. Hello and welcome, Sportstown Chicago, Eric O'Brien, Chris Labosco, and Eric Willowhite, as we have this Western Conference matchup. A special edition, as I said. This game was originally scheduled. It got rescheduled, and so because of that, I think Illiana has a few scratches tonight.
Yeah, it was actually, there's still supposed to be a game today, Eric. It was supposed to be in Janesville, Wisconsin, though, and they switched it to here. It's actually a little bit later of a time. They were supposed to be playing at 12:30 up in Janesville, and then they switched it to 1 o'clock here at the Leaf Center here in Dundee, Illinois. So at least for both teams, they kind of expected to be playing right now. But at the same time, it's a little weird when it's you think you're going one place and then you're somewhere else.
But if there's one thing I know from playing, Eric, it's that, hey, it doesn't matter. I got ice, I got a stick, I got some skates. We're going to play. It doesn't really matter where you're going to play, when you're going to play. This is going to happen. What do you expect today?
Well, I expect a competitive battle. Obviously, there's a big disparity in the standings between these two teams. The Cougars second in the Western Conference right now with 44 points. The Illiana Blackbirds coming up with 24 points. So that's a big disparity, but obviously you got to play the games and anything can happen. So we'll see what this battle turns out to be today.
Should be an exciting matchup. The Chicago Cougars trying to battle with the Dells Ducks for that first place. Right now they're about 2 games back.
Yeah.
We're going to do our 3 stars of the game at the end of the game. Chris, why don't you kick off our 3 keys to the game?
Well, the first key is definitely to keep up the intensity for the Chicago Cougars. They're playing a team, Eric, that they've played before, and they actually let the Blackbirds jump out in front of them in that one, but then they were able to take control and win the game handily. But here's the thing. This is not the competition that they just played last week where they did play that first-place Dells Ducks team. So they've struggled at times when they've played worse competition. Sometimes they played down to the competition's level, so need to keep intensity up for the entire game.
Eric, a second key to the game. What do you have for me?
Keep feeding the Zavain train. So Gavin Nickerson is the leading scorer right now for the Cougars. However, in only 18 games played, Anthony Zavain has 18 goals and 9 assists. So he's fast coming up the leaderboard in terms of the scoring leaders for the Cougars. So watch out for number 17 in white.
And Chris, take us home, the third key to the game.
Fine secondary scoring. One of the problems against the Dells Ducks was that it was the top guys doing all the work. You need to have those second, third line guys getting involved in the scoring to give your team an opportunity. They didn't really do that a whole lot, guys, so doing that is something I want to see here against the Blackbirds. They are able to go 4 deep as far as lines go. They're a talented team, but you need those lines contributing in order to even get them out on the ice anyways, where in the Ducks, we saw them sometimes double shift guys. There was guys who were forwards with 18 minutes of ice time. That's unheard of for a forward. Maybe for a defenseman, yeah, but a forward with 18 minutes, you don't want to see that if you're the Chicago Cougars happen again.
All right, just about 6 minutes away from puck drop. 3 keys to the game, 3 stars of the night, 3 heads are better than 1. We'll have the starting lineups when we come back. Sportstown, Chicago.
Chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did, at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
Attention, family, friends, players, coaches, and fans. Are you a high school or college athlete that had your game covered by SportstownChicago.com? You can relive the glory by going to our podcast section of our website to listen to all the past games over the last 2 years. Just go to the website at SportstownChicago.com and check out the podcast section, and it'll take you right to your sport. Now that's SportstownChicago.com.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Kevin Wood, Production Director, Next Media, Joliet.
My favorite part about going to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting was, first of all, I got to do everything here. For anybody looking to get into the program, I would say be ready to learn, be ready to get in here and really take your skills to another level on your own. The instructors can show you how to do it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Check it out! Somebody make some noise in this joint, man!
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive.
I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name's John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of ICB.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
SportsTownChicago.com is an internet sports station that is located at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, Illinois. We offer you a chance, or should I say, an opportunity, to become an on-air personality, get invited to live sporting events, and we teach you how to interact with your listeners. Get the training you need to get in the broadcasting industry. Just go to SportsTownChicago.com or dial 630-916-1700.
And we bring you back into Leafs Ice Arena in Dundee, Illinois. Sportstown Chicago's coverage of the U.S. Premier Hockey League. Eric O'Brien, Eric Willowhite, and there's Chris Labosco. You're doing it all, Chris.
Yeah, I got to do. You do what you have to, right? It's just kind of how it goes.
We do what we have to bring you the broadcast, and we thank you for joining us. The teams have just wrapped up their warm-ups, and the ice will be cleared, resurfaced, and then we'll come back for starters. Chris, you have watched this Chicago Cougars team for the better part of the season. We're now into the prime of the season. What can we expect from them? Who is an exciting player on this team?
Well, there's a lot of exciting guys on this team, and that's the nice thing, Eric. Gavin Nickerson obviously is one that comes. He's one of the top point scorers. We talked about Anthony Zavane already, but there's a guy, Matt Letmansky, who plays on the second line. He's a high-risk, high-reward player where he has some pretty moves that he can do. Sometimes he'll get caught, but gosh, when he does that move, sometimes it's just it's awesome to watch. I mean, the team right now, the Cougars, they're calling it Deke Ember for December, sort of like Movember. So he's got some of those deeks that you'll see them putting up on the YouTube page for the Chicago Cougars. So that's definitely a guy too. That's the nice thing is most of the time they will roll four lines. So you're going to see multiple guys getting involved. That's what I expect to see tonight. But the other thing too is the style is what, if you're a Blackhawks fan, it's a very similar style.
But that's not the Blackhawks out there. Don't let those uniforms fool you on the other side. That's not the Blackhawks. We're talking about the Chicago Cougars. They will be in green.
Yes, they got their white. I think they got the white jerseys and the yellow numbers on today for those home ones. They got some nice jerseys though, and it's a nice little throwback, of course, to the '70s as well, to the team that played then, which is kind of cool too that they brought it back to life. And everything that happens with this team, guys, is history for the team.
You know, and that's the funny thing. My very first hockey game I ever went to was a Chicago Cougars game at the International Amphitheater. And I can't tell you one thing about the game. I was fascinated by the scoreboard the whole game. I couldn't tell you what happened on the ice. I think I was like 5-6 years old, something like that.
Well, let's hope that the Zamboni doesn't throw another giant clump of snow. We had that earlier. It looks like he did a better job this time. Eric, as far as the Illiana Blackbirds coming in, and we don't know much about them, and that's what happens with these types of leagues. You know, I used to play minor league baseball, and you never knew what the roster was going to be coming in because you don't even know if your players are going to get paid half the time. There were only 18 people coming in today. How does a team overcome those small numbers against a daunting opponent in the Chicago Cougars vying for that first place spot?
Well, every team's and every player is looking for an opportunity. So when you're in the position that Illiana is right now, as a coach, you have an opportunity to dig into your roster to find out who can produce for you. So when you have a roster the size that they do and where your record is at, it allows you the opportunity to mix and match and experiment a lot more than maybe you would in the case where the Cougars are second in the Western Conference, fighting for the division lead. So It's a situation where I think you have the luxury to experiment more. But you're right, it does make it a challenge because you know you have to step up your game. And each player on Illiana is still looking for an opportunity to shine. So now whether or not that translates into a team game, that's the question.
To expound on that too, these guys, it's just like minor league baseball. This isn't where they want to end up. This is just one of the stepping stones for them. So the big thing here too is you want to, if you're not giving a full effort, especially in a league like this, what are you doing here? That's a big thing as well. And one thing you will see for sure from Illiana, they're going to give the effort. There's no doubt about that. They're going to try and run their system. They're going to do what they can. It's just that they're probably not, and it certainly looks like so in the standings, they're not as talented as the Cougars are, but you can say for the Cougars, that's good scouting by general manager Brad Stofers, who's also the head coach. But even so, if you're Illiana, that doesn't matter. You're here to try and get a college scholarship, get a look at one of the higher junior hockey leagues. So your focus should be obviously on yourself, but helping your team, because then you're helping yourself.
And that's a good point that you were going to make, and I was going to ask you, how do you fight that urge if you're playing for yourself and you've had all this shakeup and not so many numbers are coming in? Maybe you don't feel like there's a lot of commitment. How do you overcome just saying, I'm going to get mine today?
Well, here's the thing, too. These coaches talk. So if you're a guy who plays, let's say, for the Chicago Cougars, they have really good ties to the Janesville Jets. All right? Brad Stofers talks with Joe Dibble all the time. Joe Dibble is actually a part owner of the Cougars. So you think he's not talking to these guys? So, and it's the same way with teams like Illiana and everybody else. They have some sort of affiliation with guys that are above them. So in that respect, you can't just think, all right, I'm thinking me first, because your coach is going to say to the guy who's looking at you, saying, wow, he had a good game today, but then the coach is going to say, yeah, but he did nothing on the defensive end. He was cherry picking at the blue line waiting for the puck. You can't do that because it's such a small community too, where guys know each other really well. I mean, Brad, I've seen him interact with all the coaches, even here just at this Tier 3 junior level. He's talked with a lot of the coaches and assistant coaches from teams. So you can't think that I'm just going to play for me. It's not going to help you out, especially when it comes to hockey too, where it is a team. It's such a big team game.
Well, every team in hockey has their captain. We have our captain of the broadcast, Mr. Chris Labosco. He does it all. You'll be down ringside getting interviews. You'll be getting those late scratches. We'll have the starters coming up. Final thoughts, gentlemen, before we get started here.
From my perspective, I'm interested to see how Max Barr performs today. He's only played in 4 games. He has a great goals against average of 1.50, but there's a little asterisk by that. His save percentage is sub 900. And as a goalie, you always want to be over 900. So obviously he can't control the number of shots that he faces, but he has some control over the pucks that go into the net. So let's see if he can have a higher save percentage output today.
The good thing for him, too, is that he's really coming in. He's really new to the team. I think this is only his 3rd week maybe with the team, but he's also pushing Dylan Gillis and Jesse Hayes before they kind of felt, all right, we know one's going to play one game, the other guy's going to play the other game unless he's really hot. So this is pushing them because he is a pretty good goalie. Now, I know you said he's got that below 90% save percentage, but the reason he's getting the start tonight is because they are giving him an opportunity to get a chance to get a couple more starts and maybe break his way and get above either Dylan or Jesse. So right. Dylan and Jesse, they can't stay complacent, otherwise Max is going to pass them up.
Right.
For Illiana, this last-minute scratch at goalie, we don't know much about Karstensen. How does he go? This is a tall task with Chicago and the scoring power with Chicago. What do you expect out of a young goalie like this?
You know what? I expect him to try and do things right. The biggest thing, especially as a goalie, get your sights, get your sight lines, know everything. You're probably going to see a lot of shots. This is a Cougars team that takes a lot of shots, so make sure you're in your positioning and you're doing the things right. That's all you can really do right now, and then you have to hope that your defense is going to play well in front of you because this is a very high-powered offense. I think they have the most goals out of anyone in the league. They've given up more than some of the other teams, but as far as the offensive goes, that's their side. That's their forte. So expect a lot of shots. Try and hold on to those rebounds. Get out, be big in front of the paint. Don't get caught in the blue paint a lot. That's what you got to do as a young goaltender. Just make sure you're at least doing your fundamentals right.
Just another day of U.S. Premier Hockey. We'll have the starting lineups coming up. Stay with us.
Attention, family, friends, players, coaches, and fans. Are you a high school or college athlete that had your game covered by SportsTownChicago.com? You can relive the glory by going to our podcast section of our website to listen to all the past games over the last 2 years. Just go to the website at SportsTownChicago.com and check out the podcast section, and it'll take you right to your sport. Now that's SportsTownChicago.com.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Kevin Wood, Production Director, Next Media, Joliet.
My favorite part about going to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting was, first of all, I got to do everything here. For anybody looking to get into the program, I would say be ready to learn, be ready to get in here and really take your skills to another level on your own. The instructors can show you how to do it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Check it out. Somebody make some noise in this joint, man.
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
We are getting set for puck drop. SportsTownChicago.com. Eric O'Brien, Chris Labosco, and Eric Willow-White with you on the call for the Chicago Cougars and the Illiana Blackbirds. I'm going to have trouble with that one all day long, I promise you. Stick with me, folks. Here are your starting lineups. First for the visiting Illiana Blackbirds. Starting defenseman number 9, Jordan Keller. Number 21, starting defenseman Joe Fiandaka. At left wing, number 18, Maxim Karpikov. Right wing, number 72, Jake Vervlied. At center, number 74, Andriy Rusakov. And the late starting goalie, number 33, Hayden Karstensen. And for the Cougars, as you see kind of them getting announced right now, starting at defenseman number 2, Hunter Schiffman. Another defenseman, number 3, Matt Olson. At left wing, number 24, Cody Raybach. Right wing, number 17, the Zvane train, Anthony Zvane. And center, the scoring leader, number 19, Gavin Nickerson. Watch for him all day. And in at goal, number 35, Max Barr. Those are your two starting lineups for the Chicago Cougars and the Illiana Blackbirds. As you see them skating onto the ice right now, the Cougars are. White jerseys, kind of an off-white jersey. Little gold numbers, and they will get loosened up on the other side. The Illiana Blackhawks look a lot, Blackbirds, they look a lot like the Chicago Blackhawks.
They do.
And their uniforms are almost exactly alike. Here we come. The refs go to center ice, and we will have a national anthem, I believe, first from the Canadian side and then from the United States. I'll let you listen.
Nah, we'll just have the American one this time. Thankfully.
Hear the crowd chanting, a decent crowd for a Friday afternoon in this type of a league, Chris.
Yeah, especially when the game changed places too, or I'm sure most of these people probably didn't know until the day before that it changed either. I mean, we didn't even know it changed until Wednesday, so appreciate everybody here and for all of you who are watching at home.
And they'll still be filing in throughout the day. We are just about set for puck drop at center ice.
And for those of you maybe the casual hockey observer, in minor leagues and junior leagues, you have one referee and two linesmen. I know in the NHL, people are used to seeing two referees and two linesmen. It's a little bit different in the lower levels.
And the faceoff is won by Illiana. And they'll come left to right. In behind the goal, and immediately we will have a stoppage of play.
You look at that first one there, the Cougars just push it into the zone, kind of bounced in front of the net guys, and now you get the quick whistle and the quick restart.
Raybach loses that face-off. And they'll scramble for the puck, and Nickerson will shoot that along, and here come the Cougars. A kick save and a beauty at center ice, and Nickerson fighting two Blackbirds. He'll lose that battle, and so here we come.
We talked about how they're a very similar team to the Blackhawks. Puck possession, you'll notice, is going to be a big thing, Eric.
Ruskov clears that one, and we will have a line change. Pass wide, missing the mark. That was
icing.
13. Henry Laukkanen.
And that's something you'll see as well, some stretch passes. That one just a little bit behind the intended player. I believe that was Palermo that they were trying to break out in front there.
A little mistiming there between Palermo and Laukkanen. Illiana wins that face-off.
Oh!
And immediately a quick goal.
Redirected out in front. There was nothing Max Barr could do on that one.
Yeah, Maynard just flipped that one to the net in a redirect out front. 1-0 Illiana. You know, one of the things, so in this particular instance, the Cougars actually won the draw.
You get another look at it there. You're going to see Maynard went top shelf. Just got that
little bit of a screen there.
think that's the number was 67 for Illiana, so I believe that's Krolak was the one who ended up getting that tip in front.
And so Kolak on the deflection, that would be an assist for Maynard. And we have a blowout from a Cougar.
I think they thought maybe an icing there as Barr had his hand up in the air, but there was no call.
Yeah, players didn't have too much urgency on that one, and we are in now on the backboards behind the Cougars net. Contested puck, and Illiana will come out with it right in front of goal.
Nice save there.
Beautiful save by Barr.
Blackbirds have the intensity here in the early going. So what I was trying to say on that goal, the Cougars actually won the face-off.
Yeah, they had won it, and then they weren't able to get it out of the zone.
Exactly. So they weren't able to gain possession of it, and then after that, the Blackbirds were able to set up and got that deflected goal.
Surprisingly, Illiana doing a really nice job so far at the face-off, and here comes a clear breakaway in front of the goal, and that is a good goal.
Cody Rayback.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, Rayback getting out behind the defense guys, and a good pass to spring him free. We're going to get a nice close look at the goal here by Rayback as he's going to streak in from the right of your screen. He's going to put it first onto his forehand and then take the quick shot. He saw an opening and he's able to get it underneath the glove and above the pad level of the goalkeeper for Illiana. Nice job able to get that goal and get this game tied up early on.
Gavin Nickerson getting your lunch pail assist there. He actually blocked that shot almost up at his top section there. Was able to get that puck over.
As we get one more view of the goal there, and like you said, the nice assist from Nickerson. It looks like Rayback going off here too, as it looks like they're switching lines for the Cougars.
Rayback pulled away on that goal, the speed. Illiana could not keep up. Another face-off won by Illiana, but they'll have to regroup. Zavain taking a slide, looked like he was sliding into second base almost.
Yeah, a lot of guys losing edge here early on. I'm not sure why. The ice looks pretty good.
Certainly not NHL quality, but nice enough to play on.
Zavain looking for the redirect there.
That goes wide, and here comes Illiana. And they miss wide.
You got to have a little bit better communication defensively there. Both defensemen were on the wrong side of the goal, left that man wide open in the middle. They're lucky that puck bounced the way it did. Otherwise, that's probably a goal for the Blackbirds.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times so far, Chris.
Schiffman will move it ahead, and it'll be a race for the puck, and they'll call icing.
Yeah, it's the just like the NHL guys, it's a hybrid icing. Take one more look at this one as well. You're going to see the pass. He's sending it right through the middle, right to a player who's open. Just have to be able to get the stick onto that one and try and control it. That's a good breakout pass, but you have to receive the pass too.
Early on, almost all the passes are going wide. Both teams just a little bit off on their timing. Sometimes that's to be expected when you're playing with new people in a new arena. Oh, no. Just a flat-out whiff by Illiana there. Lucky to control the puck now. And Chicago will take it.
So I noticed early on they've changed up. Zavain is on the second line. I don't know if that was just a shift in
I'm not sure
strategy
either.
there. Or
maybe they're trying to get even out the lines a little bit more because that first line's been so heavy with the scoring.
Right. One of the keys of the game earlier is finding some of that secondary scoring.
Puck squirts out, and Chicago will regroup here. And taken away, Illiana, but he has 4 Cougars to deal with. A nice move. Cannot keep his skate, but here come the Cougars. The shot goes wide.
Good shot opportunity for Matt Lidmansky there. I was a little surprised he didn't try to go around the defender. That's usually an area where he's got a one-on-one and a lot of room and a bit of time. I don't think he realized he had as much time as he did, because you saw the quick release there, or maybe he's trying to use the defender as a screen in front of the goalkeeper. That could have been it as well, but you see he's got a nice, hard, and quick wrister.
Yeah, that's good. You can always catch a goalie off guard when you possess one of those.
And so Nickerson
got somebody in the box, too, for Illiana. It's number 21 for them, and Joe Fiandaca, as he's in the box.
We'll see what Chicago can do on the power play. They got plenty of time in front of the net, and a save.
Bit of an individual effort there on that opportunity for Cody Rayback. He just took it off the half boards and skated in with it. He didn't really have a lot, but if he would have looked, he actually had a player on the other side that was open in the left circle for the quick one-timer.
You could see there on the replays, Vane was trailing, looming large.
So the call on Fiandaca was tripping. He's in the box for tripping.
Trying to spread the defense. We'll see if they can try it underneath. Good defense there by Illiana.
Not able to get possession of the puck, though. That might come back to bite him.
1:25 left on the power play. And Chicago will have to regroup.
Not a lot of shots for the Cougars on this so far.
A little careless here in their own end on the power play. Not a good sign early on.
Sands with it in front of the net. Tries it once, tries it twice. Nothing doing. Barr holding strong. And now we'll have
a little scrum.
Some words and pleasantries exchanged.
And like you were saying, Eric, that just some really sloppy play in your own end. A turnover with that pass through the middle. You have to recognize where that guy is. Maybe make that pass somewhere up along the boards. You do have the extra man out there.
Right.
You're probably going to be able to break out of your own end, no problem. Don't let that one forward really cause harm like that.
Yeah, it seemed to be like they weren't expecting the pressure deep down in their zone. But you have to be ready for anything.
Just under a minute left on the Chicago power play. Tied at 1. This is where you expect to see Vane or Nickerson as a shot deflected. I don't even think either one of them are on the ice right now.
Yeah, they were on for that first unit, and I think Brad wasn't happy, so he took them off and went with the second unit for the end of the power play.
That's Doremus. Shot save.
Good opportunity there. I don't know if that was partially deflected. Let's get a look at that.
Sitting in front, Joey Palermo.
Yeah, it was a good job by Palermo. He's a defenseman. He comes in from his defensive spot into the top in the slot, and he takes a shot opportunity there, but good job being in the right position by the goalkeeper for Illiana.
He had the look, just couldn't cash in. There's a shot. A little too high. One more time.
That was a good idea because Letmansky had nobody there and nothing but the net to shoot at.
Palermo way upstairs. Might have deflected off of the stick of Rusakov. Power play done. Illiana holds strong.
One thing the Cougars may want to watch out is goaltender for Illiana tends to go down early, drop down early. So just keep an eye on that here in the early going.
Both teams back at full strength. Puck was loose in front.
So far, the goalie for Illiana has been playing really well, guys.
Karstensen doing well. Was able to just shift that puck out of there. Now behind the net, trying a reach around and hitting the ice.
Cougars putting on some pressure now. See if they can sustain that.
And someone is without a stick right now. That would be Jesper Lundberg, so he'll come off the ice as we have a scrum. Who will come out of it? Olsen chucks it in there, and Carstensen coming out of goal, but no Cougar in sight, so they will regroup.
They're keeping the possession time so far, though, guys. They're putting a lot of pressure on Illiana.
Yeah, Illiana hasn't been overset well. Here they go.
And here comes Poya.
Good defensive play there. Kept him on the outside and didn't get a sniff of the goal.
Illiana trying to work the boards. In front shot. Not that time.
Dangerous play there. He had a tough time getting back up on his feet to cover the other corner, but luckily the puck didn't head that way.
Chicago goes for a quick line change. That broken stick still on the ice. Puck just took a chunk out of it. And a lot of players have been hitting the deck. Edges have been getting caught all day so far. And that could play into some of the errant passes that we've seen, Chris.
Yeah, see if that comes into play, too, on the back end. If maybe there's a pass forward and then the defenseman falls and allows for a forward to get a quick opportunity out in front.
Chicago just missing out on that breakaway.
It was almost Cody Rayback again.
Working
Illiana
the
did a
sides,
good job
boards.
keeping the puck in the zone.
Oh, he had a chance. Chicago recovered on defense. Loose puck, who will get it?
Raybeck, nice feed.
In front.
Raybeck, nice feed to Zavane there. Just wide.
Oh, a hard check right in front of us. And Chicago keeps possession.
Watson on Sands.
Now on the sideboards, coming up into the Illiana zone. Player, oh, nice defensive move there by the captain. Illiana cuts that pass off and now trying to make something happen. Fighting his way through a double team. And Keller can't quite get there. And we'll have another disagreement down on the left corner of your screen. Under 10 minutes now in the first period, tied at 1.
Giveaway there.
Shot.
It's a big giveaway to give there. They got lucky that the shot went high.
Yeah, we have a penalty.
Another player down. Another stick down.
This is a little bit of a weird that they blew the whistle a little earlier before the player even touched the puck.
Another tripping call, this one on Mulladay.
And now they'll finally have a chance to get that broken stick off of the ice. That'd been sitting there for the better part of 6 minutes.
A little surprised that last one was called a trip. It more looked like he got him up near the face. Thought maybe it was going to be like a high stick or something.
Yeah, initially it did look like that.
And so the second power play opportunity for Chicago. Zvane working in front. Zvane and Nickerson.
Great stop there. Great stop.
Well, I think they kind of need to change up what they're doing, alluding to what you had said earlier as we watch this, as Nickerson gets the puck at the bottom of the left circle and cuts in for an opportunity. Going down, really good down low seems to be the goalkeeper for Illiana in Krastensen. So try getting up high near his mask and above his shoulders.
Right.
Face off this time in favor of Chicago.
And especially when you're on a power play, you have a little bit more time and space. You have the opportunity to, you're anxious when you get in front of the net, you want to shoot, but just that extra second thinking where you want to put that puck could be the difference between a goal or not.
That was Matt Olson putting his body in front of the oncoming Illiana. And now Chicago with possession, as they'll go for a quick line change, and Olsen will check out. Oh, picked just out of the air.
I was saying that's going to be a high sticking. Yeah. You like the hand-eye coordination, but at the same time, now you got to take a draw in your zone. So
yeah, on a power play.
Like to take another look at it too. And he got the blade of this stick too. So it's not like it's in line with your hands. It's actually the blade part. So that's a lot of concentration and hand-eye coordination to do that.
Nice talent to show off, but it costs. Well, it doesn't end up costing Chicago, actually. They win the face-off, and here they come.
Yeah, this allows them to get set up here.
Doremus centering it. Plays it back, and good defense from Illiana. Doremus trying to set up everything again. He'll have to chase the puck down, as Barr will help him out with that.
Get maybe one more opportunity to set up here for the Cougars, but so far their power play, not a lot of shots, guys. They haven't been taking as many opportunities as maybe they could.
Still tied at 1 with 7:40 left in the final 20 seconds of the Chicago power play. They have not been impressive on it. Almost another high stick there.
That being said, though, too, I think Illiana has done a good job of keeping them to the outside and not allowing them to get any prime real estate shots.
Fresh legs for Chicago, and a pass picked off by Illiana.
We got a 2-on-1, almost 2-on-2 now.
And now here we go, 3-on-2 for Chicago. And a save.
What a move, though, by Matt Letmansky to go around the diving player. I thought for sure he was going to get taken out there and that was going to be a penalty. I think we'll be able to catch it here just in the corner of the screen. He just got it right after he got past the player, but you get a good view of the shot. He tries to go up high. Good job by Krastensen getting up and getting out, be big in front, not letting the rebound.
Krastensen been really impressive so far. There's another deflection.
Good point, Chris, on no rebound there, because you have Cougars players swarming the net. He was able to absorb that nice and soft, no second chance.
And Illiana has killed 2 Chicago power plays thus far. And now taking their shot at goal. Backhand, wrister, no. And they'll have to do it again.
A little shaky there on Blair. Almost a scoring opportunity.
Hit the bottom of rebound. Hit the bottom of his glove.
Olsen backtracking. Maynard. Loses it, centering, and picked off by Chicago. Well, no. They'll trade it back and forth, and now Chicago will have a clear view. As he gets spun around, Andrew Van Dyke kind of holding his right arm a little bit. Now he looks okay. And Chicago will corral it. Both teams go for a line change. Ooh, a hard hit. And slap shot, no good.
Good save by Barr.
Now, that was a nice hit by Max Olsen, but the big thing is he kind of left his team in a bad way defensively, because he is a defenseman. As you see, you have 2 guys to the inside, but you gave him that entrance into the zone and then a shot opportunity. And it's not a defensive guy who's back there. It's a forward trying to play as a defenseman.
All right. Not the easiest thing to do.
Joe Starvovich on that hard shot. And a nice save by Barr.
Yeah, Barr closed the 5-hole on that really quick.
This is Vane in behind the net trying to work it for Nickerson, and it is cut off. Trying it again. Again, good defense right in front of the net.
And Nickerson has a little size there, so when you get him in front of the net, he's very hard to move.
Looking from the outside now. About 5 minutes left in the first period. Still tied at 1.
Nickerson just tipped that one wide of the net, but that was a good idea from him, and I think it was Doremus on the initial shot.
Svein working from the left, cutting through.
And I think
that's a goal. Svein scored.
Yeah, that one got in. He got it through the 5-hole.
I was blocked from our camera. I couldn't even see that one go in.
Yeah, well, it was tough to tell anyways because it looked like it could almost have been in the pad. As you see, there's not a lot of room there, but he's able to just sneak it under. It looks like the right pad of right underneath the right pad of Craston before he could get it down and close off that gap. So that's a really nice job by Svein to even recognize that he could get the puck through there. Because from initial look, it looks like he's not going to be able to do that. It's especially when you watch it in slow motion there.
Yeah, I thought that was a pass going across, and
yeah, he just flew by his man on the left side. Left the defenseman trailing. There's some quick wheels there shown by Svein.
Lightning quick and almost a no reaction from either team when it went in.
I think they weren't sure either if it had went in.
So Chicago leads by 1 in the first period as we start ticking down to 4 minutes left. And Chicago again in Illiana's zone, fighting for the puck behind the net. They'll launch a puck down there, and Chicago will go for a line change. And another goal.
Giveaway again in the Illiana zone.
I'm watching. I'm marking down our goal scorers on my sheet here, so I didn't even get to see the opportunity, but we get another replay of it is the nice thing. As you saw, like you said, it's a turnover from behind their own net, too, that ends up leading to the opportunity out here into the middle. Nice job to keep the pressure away from his back and get a shot off and just beat the goalie over to that far side. I think that was Nick Kropp on the shot. That is beautiful because that's a hard shot to do, going across your body back towards the other post.
With a man draped over you.
Yes.
And Eric, it seemed like Illiana had total control of that possession. Krupp just kind of came in there, a quick backhand.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Chris alluded to that turnover behind the net.
Now a shot try for Illiana, deflected by Barr.
If you're going to give up a rebound, make sure you're kicking those over to the corner. And that's what Barr did in that example.
Chicago clears their zone and now threatening back in Illiana's zone, already up 2. 3 minutes left in the first period. And look out here. Oh, nice move. Peters was going to have nothing between him and the goalie, and it just clipped the defender. Illiana doing well. Doremus shot, no good. Chicago picking up the pace a little bit. It started slow. They're starting to feel it now.
Definitely starting to see the pace increase for the Cougars. And like you said, it was a little bit of a slow start. Not a good turnover there, though.
And down in front of the net for Illiana. And here comes Chicago. They'll work it back outside. Now inside of 2 minutes for the first period.
Be a 3-on-2 here.
The shot and
nice.
Stuffed.
And I don't know if it came over through the crowd mic or not, but you heard somebody shouting in the stands to get back. The forwards were a little bit slow getting back. I know you're at the end of a shift and you're getting tired. You have to get back, though, because you had that trailer open. And if Barr gives up a rebound there, which he doesn't, thankfully, for the Cougars, that's a good opportunity because you've got 2 Blackbirds players in front of the net.
Shot goes wide for Maynard. Couldn't tell if that was a shot or if he was trying to set up his
Either way, not a bad idea to get the puck toward the net. So this is one thing the Cougars want to guard against. You have a nice lead you've built up here after a sluggish start. You don't want to allow a late minute goal. That was almost an opportunity for Illiana right there to cut the gap to 1. So let's see if they can finish out this first period strong.
Chicago's first line on. Svein and Nickerson working around the net. And Raybach trailing that as well. Final 60 seconds of the first period. Pass goes way upstairs. And Nickerson will glove that and start it over again.
Ooh, just missed an outlet there to Svein.
Svein did touch it though, so this will not be icing. .30 seconds to go. And Illiana has a chance. Deflected shot. No good. The net got jarred just a little bit. Barr working in front.
A lot of activity there.
We'll have 14 seconds left in the first period. Chicago leading this one 3-1.
All right, so here's one of those late period face-offs that are very important for both teams. Obviously the Cougars, you want to win this, control possession, and they do. Let's see if they can maintain.
Working against the boards now under 10 seconds. Can Illiana get one more chance? No, Chicago's going to try to take it. And it is going to end harmlessly. Chicago a 3-1 advantage. And Eric, early on, some firepower we've seen from the Cougars after a slow start.
Yeah, that was it. And again, it was one of the things we talked about, keys to the game, is you want to make sure you're matching the intensity level. Just because you're not playing a top division team, you want to make sure that you're bringing your A game. Obviously a little sluggish start there for the Cougars, but once they got their feet under them, their skates under them, I should say, you can see the firepower that's present on the Cougars.
Scoring for the Cougars, Krupp with a goal, the Svein train with a goal, and Raybach with a goal, and we are looking to go down. Chris Labosco has one of the Cougars for us. Take it away, Chris.
And thanks, Eric. Here with Olsen for the Cougars defenseman. And when you look at the start, I mean, a little bit slow for you guys, but I think you guys picked it up there towards the end.
Yeah, we came out a little slow that period. They jumped on us right away there. We just got to move our feet a little more, move the puck more. I feel like we're just holding on too long, and just got to move our feet and get it open. That'll be fine.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of their opportunities were kind of turnovers and stuff where, like you said, just holding on it a little bit long. I thought pace, though, too, was a little slow for you guys. Is it just because a little bit of a weird start time for you guys? Is that part of it?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. 1 o'clock game, it's a little different. So I think if we come out in the second, playing hard as we can, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, the power play, you guys had a couple there. Not too many opportunities, not too many shots. I mean, are they just doing a good job of keeping you guys to the outside, or what's got to change in that?
Yeah, they are. They're pressuring up high. We need to keep the puck down low, move our feet, create some lanes.
All right, thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chris. And that is Chris Labosco down there with Matt Olsen, who has done a nice job on the defensive side for the Chicago Cougars. Illiana took the early lead, and Chicago has fought their way back. 3 unanswered goals so far. Eric O'Brien and Eric Willowhite up here as Chris tries to make his way back to the broadcast. Now, the Cougars up 3-1, but this could have been much different, Eric. 2 power plays gone awry.
Yeah, exactly. So there was an opportunity to have even a larger lead. Now, the good thing, though, is that sometimes for the other team, if you have 2 good penalty kills, that could build some momentum on your side. That didn't happen. The Cougars kept the foot on the pedal, and they were able to bury 2 other goals at even strength.
And again, Krupp, Svein, and Raybach with each with goals that period. And for Illiana, Jake Krolak had that deflected goal. It was Maynard's shot that just touched the stick of Krolak.
Right.
Chris, welcome back.
Thank you. It was good to talk with Matt Olson, one of the leaders on this team, one of the captains, and I think a lot of what he said, guys, is true too. His team, it's little things. It's not really big things that have caused these opportunities. Very small things. They change those couple of things up. This scoreboard could get real ugly.
It could. You know, over the course of that first period, the time of possession for the Cougars just increased. So, and he wasn't using it as an excuse either, the early start time, which was good. It's a fact, but it's a fact for both teams.
Right.
So, some adjustments going on, but again, once the Cougars got their skates under them, you were able to see them keep the momentum going and get this early lead.
Zamboni is freshening up this surface. That certainly has played a role in today's affair, and we'll see if it continues. Sportstown, Chicago, the Chicago Cougars on top of the Illiana Blackbirds, 3-1, end of one, and we'll take our first intermission.
Check it out. Somebody make some noise in this joint, man.
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name's John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of ICB.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did, at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
SportsTownChicago.com is the internet sports station that is located at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, Illinois. We offer you a chance, or should I say, an opportunity, to become an on-air personality, get invited to live sporting events, and we teach you how to interact with your listeners. Get the training you need to get in the broadcasting industry. Just go to SportsTownChicago.com or dial 630-916-1700.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Oh, thank you.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
What's up, Chicago? It's Rufio. Are you looking to get hands-on training for a career in radio or TV? Just do what I did and go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Whether you're looking to be on air or behind the scenes, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting is for you. As a graduate of ICB, I was placed in an internship with KISS FM, and now I'm on the air. You can do the same. For more info, go to beonair.com/career. That's beonair.com/career.
SportsTownChicago.com is your place for NIHL high school club hockey.
Ooh, wow.
Every goal, all of the checks, and every jarring hit. SportsTownChicago.com, in a league of our own.
Hey, it's Herb Lawrence. If you love sports and you want a career in broadcasting, then go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Log on to beonair.com right now. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting trains you for careers in radio, TV, and online media. With internships, financial aid for those who qualify, job placement assistance, and day and night classes, you can start your new career in less than a year. Log on to beonair.com right now. Take it from me, Herb Lawrence. Check out the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
When you need a break from your busy schedule, kick back and listen to the fun sports and entertainment interviews from SportsTownChicago.com. The Big Interview is where you hear SportsTownChicago.com personalities pick the brains of the biggest names in sports, music, movies, and TV. To catch up on all the fun, go to the audio SportsTownChicago.com and click on the audio tab. SportsTownChicago.com. We are in a league of our own. Yep. Guests on SportsTownChicago.com are brought to you by the Illinois Center.
They call me King Ho Copy. They call me King Ho Copy. Call me King Ho Copy.
And the Cougars have a 3-1 advantage against the Illiana Blackbirds. Sportstown Chicago's coverage of the United States Premier Hockey League, the West Conference. And these Cougars have been some kind of an impressive. Eric O'Brien, Eric Willowhite, Chris Labosco with you here. And one of our keys to the game was get someone other than Svein and Nickerson involved. I'd say that they did that even though Svein got on the board.
Yeah, you still want your top line to get on the board, of course, but and you know, Svein Train was one of the people that we had on the keys of the game as well, but Nick Kropp getting a goal was huge for this team. It's been a little bit since he got involved in some goals, so you want to get him going. There's a lot of guys in this team that can get involved defensively too. They've got some really talented defensive players. We saw Hunter Schiffman carry the puck up ice a couple of times. Willie DeRemus, Matt Olson, who I talked with there at the end, and I talked with all these guys too during in the week as well, which helps out as too. They're a really good group of guys. There's some really good chemistry here for the Cougars. It's just about doing the little things right. Moving on here in the second period, And when you look at our three keys, the intensity didn't start there, but it definitely got there. Zvane got on the board and secondary scoring. So just got to keep number one going, and they should be all right in this one, guys.
Cody Raybrock notched his 12th goal, Zvane his 19th goal, and Kropp his 8th goal for the Cougars. Jack Krolak added one for the Illiana Blackbirds. Eric, the surface was certainly part of the story in the first period. Early struggles and timing issues. What do you expect out of this second start?
Well, I think the Cougars will step this up a little bit more now going into the second period. They had that feeling out period, those like first 7 minutes of the game where Illiana brought the intensity and the Cougars weren't able to match. But as the course of the game goes along, as long as the Cougars are playing with the same level of intensity they finished the first period with, I think their overall depth is going to take over this game.
A quick shot and a quick goal for Chicago.
Not a good goal there from the goalie standpoint, but obviously from the Cougar standpoint, great shot, put it on net, good things happen.
That's Sam Zatera who got the goal too. He's a guy who just got back from a concussion himself. So we were talking about concussions with some of the other players. You know, it's nice to get him back. I talked with Brad Stofers earlier, and he said he's a top 6 guy, so they really were missing him. They didn't have him for the Dells Ducks series, and you saw it get right past that short side on the goalkeeper. I was shocked it got into the net. I didn't think there was going to be enough room.
Just Zatera's 3rd goal of the season, only his 10th game played so far, and right away, Chicago adds to their lead in the start of the second period.
There's more of that secondary scoring we talked about early on.
Now 4 unanswered goals for the Cougars. Working in white from left to right this period. You'll see Illiana in the red, resembling what the Blackhawks look like, but they are the Blackbirds.
In color only at this point, let's say.
Chicago again in front, and we see some new players on the ice. Kropp had a goal early on. One of our first looks at Brandon Furter on the ice for Chicago, and, well, he misses the puck there.
Kind of hopped over his stick funny.
In front, Illiana trying it, but a pedestrian try at best.
Yeah, and then the net came off the boring afterwards to stop play, as we're going to take a look again down at that first opportunity. And you're going to see most of the short side is covered up. He moved his glove hand. That's why it got through.
Inside, right.
If he keeps his glove hand there, he actually reacted and moved it away. That's why it got through on Zatera's shot.
Yeah, it was almost like he was guessing where the puck was going.
And there was no screen in front either.
Right.
Illiana, another face-off in behind Chicago's net. Needs to answer some kind of scoring here. On the left circle. And now Chicago comes away with it. And they'll clear their zone. Struggle to clear center ice, and Illiana hoping to make a mark in this second period. In front,
That was a nice save there by Barr, because that actually hit off one of his own teammates' sticks and almost went in the net.
He just upended.
No call. Oh, there's a call.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've got the hand up in the air there. Interference or a trip they could have called there. There's a couple of things. Kind of slew-footed the guy, it looked like, there on that far side.
Starvovich took a tumble.
I don't think it was purpose, but it doesn't matter if it was purpose or not. Lockinen's going into the box.
And so Chicago will be on their first power play defense. Illiana killed 2 of Chicago's in the first period. We'll see how the Cougars handle this situation.
Cougars very aggressive on their kill is something that you'll notice, guys. They will come out to the points and play the players there. They have very good confidence in the player going to play out, and they also have good confidence that they're going to be positioned correctly on the kill in order to allow that pressure to happen on the outside.
The Blackbirds need this scoring opportunity to succeed.
Official call on Lockinen was interference.
Illiana trails by 3 early in the second period. Not much urgency on this power play so far. And picked off, and here come the Cougars.
Good recovery there by Keller. He got in the way and saved a potential breakaway by the Cougars on a shorthanded opportunity.
I think Cody Rayback actually slowed down a little bit too much. He didn't think that puck was going to have enough steam to stay with him, so he didn't quite have the opportunity he may have could have if he just kept skating as hard as he was. So a little bit of a break there for the Blackbirds, but you can see though, guys, it's a very aggressive penalty kill from the Cougars, and they're staying with that aggression here early on with it, and that's what you want to see from them on their kill.
Now about 63 seconds left on Illiana's power play. They need it desperately.
To see what the Blackbirds can do, when you do have that pressure, there is going to be some big openings, but you got to move that puck quick. Make them work harder, too, if you're Illiana.
Theodanka and Karpikov trying to move it along. Rusakov fell down. Under 40 seconds left in this power play. And the puck being trapped on the half boards. And here comes Chicago, clearing their zone. Nickerson loses it, and he'll retreat. It's Karpikov. 20 seconds. Can Illiana take advantage of this power play?
I don't think they've had a shot on goal yet.
Not yet.
Rusakov trying to work it in, and a shot deflected, and Barr will control it.
Good decision by Barr. If his team needs to change a couple of killers, it is the long period of the long change. Bounced right off the end boards and right to him, too. As we'll watch. Smart play by him, too, to see where that puck was going off the end boards and then kind of play it like a shortstop almost.
All hope not lost in this power play. Still 6 seconds. Can they get a quick shot? There's one. No good. And Chicago holds strong. A penalty kill.
Good penalty kill by the Cougars there. Coming into the game, they had an 86% penalty kill rate, which is really good.
Palermo checks over his shoulder and clears it. Now here comes Chicago. In front, move, no. Deflection, no good, and wasn't sure if we were going to have a penalty there. A couple of players falling over each other. Another deflection for Karstensen. He's done a decent job in this late start.
That's a beautiful save he had made there on that breakaway opportunity for Jesper Longberg. Nice little head fake by Longberg, and he was able to stay with them and as he went to his backhand.
Chicago has numbers. Instead, they will go for a line change.
They had to touch up too because the offside, the late offsides.
Boy, he almost got his clock cleaned.
Palermo whiffed on what looked like it was going to be a massive check.
You know what? If he connected with that check, it may have been called something, though, too. He took quite a few strides to get there. That came off the board, and that's why you got the stoppage, too.
Get another look at it here, and just out of our screen, but you can see Palermo was closing quickly.
Maybe not, you know what, watching the replay of it again, maybe it wouldn't have been called anything. It probably would have just been a really nice hit, but either way.
It looked like he was going really high, close to that head area, so he might have thought twice about doing it, especially up 4-1. No need. Chicago's starting to do all the little things. They're starting to win face-offs, doing everything that they weren't doing at the start of this game.
Yeah, and the easy call for the official there was batted out of the air, I think, by Letmansky. Or maybe it was cropped towards Letmansky. Either way, hand pass, easy call for the official.
Cougars a 3-point lead, and we're a quarter of the way through the second period. Illiana not too many scoring chances after their first quick goal.
They're winning some face-offs, but they're just not able to generate after that.
And they're not possessing the puck after they win the face-off.
Right.
Chicago not slowing down one bit, rushing to the puck. But Illiana will move it along and try to clear. Is that Olsen or Schiffman back there? You can't quite tell yet. Looks to be Schiffman. Starvovich What can he do? Moving in, shot no, near side, nothing doing with Barr.
They did the only thing he could do there. Man was collapsing on him quickly, so he had to get the shot off in a hurry. Good speed, nice save by Barr.
Good communication by Letmansky and Olsen on the back end because Hunter Schiffman had jumped up into the play. So you had Letmansky, he crosses with Olsen. Olsen takes the man, have the defenseman on the strong person with the puck, and then you have Letmansky to have the trailer to not let anything get through. So good communication there. That's going to happen sometimes when you're an aggressive team like the Cougars, but you have to have the communication.
A face-off and a quick shot from Illiana was no good. And you saw on that replay, Barr was not giving up anything from the near side.
Closed it off nicely. He's been playing really well in his crease so far, getting out on top and stopping some shots, and very good rebound control too.
There's Olsen and Palermo working from the near side to the far side and not letting any Blackbird by them. This has been all white jerseys so far.
I think they're not going to be happy with their effort, though, so far. I think they're going to say, you know what, we probably haven't played as well as we could.
Illiana will go for some fresh legs. Chicago will regroup.
Yeah, I know there was a power play in between there for Illiana, but we're about 7.5 minutes into the second period. Aside from that quick early goal, though, there hasn't been as much pressure on the Illiana goalie as you would have thought at this stage.
Or if you're the Cougars that you would like to have on the Illiana goalie in Creston.
Exactly.
And we have a bit of a dog pile going on for quite a few seconds. I think we're closing in on about 30 seconds of people being stuck over that puck, and Chicago comes out with it.
It's the Velcro puck.
And Chicago will clear their entire line. They had to get back quickly, but they do. This is Karpikov. Loses a skate.
It's always good. The Cougars are able to make a line change there and not get adversely impacted.
Vervliet, no. Vervliet in behind the net again. Well, it doesn't look like Illiana has too much energy. Almost looks like they burned themselves out in the first period as another player loses his skate.
Just might be, too, the speed difference between these two teams. You see that the Cougars are clearly the faster team.
And speaking of that speed, here comes Nickerson blowing by everybody, but he'll have to dive in. Vane trying to keep it in the zone. Nickerson in front, shot, no. Palermo is calling for it. Nickerson, try again, and that one's good.
Wow. That was what a one-timer for Gavin Nickerson in the circle there. I saw him loading up, but gosh, for a quick snapshot like that, I mean, I'm surprised the water bottle stayed on the net. As you're seeing the puck go in behind here, and you see it get set up, you're going to watch. Nickerson's going to skate back here. He loads up for the one-timer. Like I said, didn't go all the way up, but snaps it right past the blocker side of the goalkeeper. I mean, he didn't even react till it was already in the net.
No.
And you saw the water bottle bounce, too.
Karstensen never saw it. Chicago up 5-1 now. Scoreboard still says 4. I don't know if they're not counting that goal or what, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4-goal advantage right now for the Cougars, and you can see why Nickerson is the scoring leader for this Cougars offense.
A lot of talent on that top line, that's for sure, for the Cougars.
Ray Biggins and Vane both with assists, so top line doing their thing.
22nd goal of the season for number 19 in white.
The refs are wanting them to update the scoreboard, I think.
Yeah, probably, but either way, those offsides there is what you saw call. I think it was Lomberg was the one who might have been offsides That's why you had the stoppage here.
Little stick work between Schiffman and Krolak there.
And if Illiana is going to do anything, they're going to have to get it started sooner than later.
All right, things are getting a little testy here now. Schiffman and Krolak had been going at it, and then Sands jumped in from Illiana on Schiffman.
See if they go offsetting here or not. I think Hunter's going in too. He's kind of well, no, maybe not.
Yeah, I think Sands was the third man into that scrum, so maybe they're calling him.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, well, yeah, no, Hunter, because the penalty boxes are on the same side as the benches here, so it's a little different than what you're used to if you're watching an NHL game.
Maybe
so he kept like skating. He was like right by the one door, but also kind of by the penalty door. So I was like, yeah, no, yeah, and then he went to the bench. So power play for the Cougars.
Sands will go in for 2 minutes, and this is the Cougars' third power play opportunity. Illiana killed the last two, but the Cougars are a different team since then.
Still want to get some good work on the power play. That's one area where the Cougars have not played well.
And we're halfway through the second period here.
The call was roughing on Sands.
Like you said, third guy in.
Olsen.
Delayed offsides.
Yep.
Well, picked out of the air nicely by the Cougars, but an errant pass, and I don't think that will cost them anything. Illiana's all back in their own zone, trying to prevent the Cougars from scoring again like they might do right. No.
Nice stick work there, 66, Illiana.
He's lucky that the move that Ledmansky tried didn't work. He almost pulled that back far enough to get around him diving on the ice.
But as a defenseman, you want to, in that position, keep that stick down on the ice. That's exactly what they did. Now a shorthanded goal.
And a good goal for Illiana. Trying to climb back into this thing. I couldn't even see who that was just yet.
We'll get another look at it. Here's the good thing for us.
He came streaking towards us.
I mean, I don't know what you see the player diving over, but there's nobody else back for the Cougars. I think they were changing their power play line and got caught is what ended up happening here. Because you see the forwards coming in late.
Right.
So that's just a bad turnover when you're going through the middle of the ice there. And that's one of those passes we talk about that there's times to take those passes and then times to not. When you're in the middle of a change like that, you got to make sure that you keep control of that puck. Don't allow your team to get an odd man rush like that.
And that was Joe Starvovich, number 47, coming across. We were waiting to hear it over the loudspeaker here. And so now it's a 3-goal game.
Let's see if the Cougars can respond and answer that shorthanded goal.
Everyone out in front of Illiana's goal there. Oh.
Good wraparound by Svein.
A one-handed wraparound. Svein reaching everything that he had into it. Barr will.
So it looks like we have a change in goal right now for Illiana. I just caught that.
And that change looks like Joe Stolfo.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's Stolfo.
Number 29 taking over in net. So Carstenson's night is done, or afternoon, I should say. Chicago still pushing. Nickerson working around, leaves it back for Palermo. A fire towards the net. Not too much happening. Cougars don't look to be pushing all men on deck quite yet. There's a 2-on-3 reaching.
Wow.
Excellent play there.
And another goal for Chicago.
That was an excellent give and go.
That was Lomberg and the captain and Mike Watson were the two combined on that one. That was just beautiful hockey right there. You see Lomberg doing the work there, getting around one player. He feeds through, threading the needle to Watson, who was streaking through the middle of the ice. There is nothing that the new goalkeeper could do for Illiana in number 29 in Stolfo. That's a hard shot to stop when it's point blank like that, and it's a quick one-timer.
Chris, do you think their defenseman, though, kind of cheated? He should have stayed with the man more than he started going towards the shooter on that play?
The initial problem, he really had nothing to do. It's either stay with the guy who's got the puck or go to the puck or stay on the man.
One or the other.
Right.
He kind of looked like he was in between on that.
Yeah, he was in between, but that's one of the things that's what this level is for, to work on something like that. When you look at it, too, I mean, Lomberg makes the move around and turn it into that 2-on-1, so you got to give a lot of credit to him.
Ooh. Illiana trying to answer and paying the price for it.
Big hit there by Palermo. Broke up a good scoring opportunity there for Illiana.
And so for Watson, that's his 9th goal of the season. Now a 6-2 advantage as we close in on 6.5 minutes in this second period. Ooh, a hard check right behind the ref, right in front of us. You could hear that one.
Satera going off right away, too.
Let's hope he's okay. Just needs a second to collect his thoughts, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't a high hit. It was his body that went in. Maybe just hit a leg or something into the boards.
There's Chicago one more time. We're going to have a
upended.
The net goes sliding. That was Schiffman trying to get in there, and now we got a scrum, a little skirmish.
Brendan Peters was not happy with what happened to Hunter Schiffman, I believe, as he went after a guy.
Schiffman's kind of been involved in a couple scraps here.
It looks like the stick gets all puck, but the follow-through trips Schiffman. And going full speed, and
I think that's, you know what? I think that's what the player in Chase Buffet is trying to say is, I got this. His stick hit the puck first, so that's technically not a trip.
He went in between the legs. Usually they go in front, and then it's pretty obvious that you get the puck first, but he actually came in between the legs, reached through, got the puck.
Now that might have been why they called the trip, because he didn't go around and get to the puck because he went underneath the player. That might be why they called it a trip, but normally if you get the puck first and then you get the guy's legs, well, that's not a trip.
Fahey still not happy, having words with the referee, trying to argue his point, and it will fall on deaf ears.
But I think this ends up being 4-on-4 because I think you have a roughing and then you have the one call. So we will actually have 4-on-4. It won't be offsetting minors, I believe. Maybe. Not sure.
Right. It was tripping on Bafia, and then Peters had roughing.
Well, they got 5 out there, so it is 5-on-5.
Okay.
I was wrong. That's okay, though.
So we have 5-on-5, but we do have 2 people in the penalty box for that fight. And Illiana needs to get back on the scoreboard here before this period ends. Chicago.
Yes, I don't know. I did not hear fighting called as the penalty.
No, it wasn't fighting.
So it's just 2 coincidental minors?
Yeah, roughing and I think maybe the trip, because I think that was the player who ended up doing the trip.
Lemansky finds his way with the puck. He leaves it off, coming in front of the net. A wall of red jerseys to answer that.
End up icing the puck, though, there, Eric, and bring this one back in.
So I think one of the things we're going to want to keep an eye on as the rest of the game goes on, obviously, is the frustration level of Illiana. You can see the play getting a little bit chippy here. Now they're down 4 goals. Unless they score a couple quick goals to close the gap here.
What I want to know is who's the player that Peters got tied up with?
And that we could not see.
Because he didn't go into the box.
No, he didn't.
I thought you were going to have 2 players for Illiana to go in.
Nickerson in front, nothing. Comes away empty, and Chicago will try again. Now, guys, if you're Chicago, do you keep pushing forward because that's who you are, or do you just pull off and try to milk this clock?
Definitely keep pushing forward. If you start to pull off, you get complacent, and that's how you cause bad tendencies.
Svein calling for it. gets it, and the new goalie does well to hold that one with no deflection because Nickerson was closing.
You don't want to create bad habits. So if you start to let off, if you start to get a little lazy, that's when you start to make bad habits, and those can really, really just not help you as a player.
At the same time, you don't want to get careless and then have anything in the back of your net because of turnover or sloppy play. So it is a balance.
Right. Stay aggressive, but don't get overly aggressive.
Right.
Watson with the face-off, and a loose puck was right in front of the net. He was not able to capitalize. Another quick shot for Chicago is stopped by Stolfo.
So right, you like that shot from Zatara that he's able to get that off. He saw he had an opening.
And
nice, another win by Watson.
Watson gets the hat trick of face-offs at least. And now Olsen will clear it out for his men to come forward. Illiana cuts that pass off. But the red jerseys just seem a little bit behind the white ones anywhere they are on the ice.
For the most part, yeah, that's pretty true. I think the team speed is one of the factors you're talking about there, Eric, because the Cougars are very fast from top to bottom.
Lonberg is sitting in front of the net, desperately hoping for a pass to come his way. Now he'll back off. Looking to pick up an easy goal, 23 was. Stoffel had a rude awakening to this game, but he's done well since.
I think Lonberg wants. Oh.
Stavnicek. Nice. Yes. Illiana cuts it to 3.
There's nothing that Barr can do about that one. That's a player who gets free behind the defense. And yeah, he's got a player on his back, but he's able to fight him off enough where he's able to do a nice move here from his backhand back to his forehand and then go top shelf on that near side for the goal.
He got that off quickly, too.
Yeah, Barr can't do anything about that.
No, that was a good goal.
One constant for Illiana is that Starvovich has been all over, at least in front of the Cougars' net.
On that shift there, one thing is Poya on Illiana was kind of mixing it up with a couple of Cougars players. I don't know if that led to any distraction from the lines, but just keep an eye on that. That's something that Illiana is going to try and do here, at least do some agitation, get the Cougars off their game. That might have been in play here and why Starvovich got the goal.
And that's Starvovich's second goal of the game. And now Kopovic to Rusakov. No.
He couldn't get much on the backhand.
A little life for Illiana. Chicago looking to just stave off this energy for the remainder of the second period. 2:30 and counting with a 6-3 advantage right now.
Got a guy going for Illiana, I believe, into the box too. The official was not happy at all with something. I'm not sure what, but the puck was in control of Illiana. There was nothing really going on. I believe that's
Karpikov.
Yeah, Karpikov is the one that. Oh, and he's throwing his stick. I think he's been ejected from the game too.
And it looks like he will be escorted off the ice.
So obviously you got a game misconduct here, and then we'll see what the penalty was.
Don't know if we have what he did on replay or not.
He might have said something to the officials too, because there was no Cougars players around. And you're having the captains out there to talk right now. You've got Watson on one side, and on the other side you've got Kyle Fahey.
And it's unfortunate for the Blackbirds because they had just kind of gotten a little life, and now one of their best players exits the arena.
Well, not only that, you might have to have two players. I think maybe one or two players. I think you're going to be short-handed here.
Yeah, they have a 2-minute minor, so someone's serving the penalty for Karpikov right now.
And then they probably got a misconduct that's got to be on there too. So somebody's maybe have to sit in there for 10 minutes. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not sure if he got 10 or a game, so we're going to find out here shortly.
Well, I think it's a game since they sent him off.
Right.
But still.
Well, either way, there's been a lot of confusion for Illiana as far as how many men and who's going to come out. Right now, it's 5-on-4 hockey in favor of Chicago. And this is already a potent offense. You don't need to give them any more advantage. Shot wide. Got deflected in front of the net. And Doremus will try again.
10-minute. He got a 10-minute.
1:30 on the power play as Chicago comes up again. Nickerson took a stick to the chin. He'll stay in.
So to Chris's point, because there's only a couple minutes left in the period, there was no need to have someone serving the penalty in the box for the misconduct.
Remus and Nickerson skies that one to the ceiling. Another shot, Doremus, into the chest of Stolfo, and another block for Stolfo. And as we said, a minute into coming into the net, he gave up a goal, but he's been rock solid since.
Yeah, that's it's a tough position to be in. Any goalie has to come in to replace someone. You're not expecting to be on the ice, but that's your job as the backup goalie to be ready, because that can happen at any time.
Olsen stops that puck from going into Chicago's zone, but they will retreat in the final minute of this power play. And about a 30-second difference from the power play to the period. And so shorthanded Illiana with numbers, 2-on-1. Centering it, and Barr, did he? The net came loose, but was that because of the puck?
I don't think they're calling a goal here. No. The linesman was there. The ref wasn't there to call it. The linesman was there.
So Barr must have snatched it. You get another look right here. And he gets it with that glove. It looks like he got it with the glove, and the pad actually knocked the net loose for Barr as he was sliding over.
Yeah, nice stop. Nice stop.
30 seconds on the power play for Chicago. Taking the face-off in their own zone. Does a good job to win that face-off. Shipman, and here come the Cougars.
Oh, beautiful save
there. Two stops by Stolfo as he hits the deck, covering up the puck.
That was a great move by Longberg, and an even better save by Stolfo. And we get a look at the replay here. Longberg taking the pass.
Look at this. He's got nothing but open net, and Stolfo slides in.
See how he keeps. So what he did there, he kept his right pad locked to the post, and that allowed him to keep that puck out of the net. Sometimes if you don't do that, you lose your bearing where you are in the net. He could have slid past that, and Longberg would have had the easy goal there. But nice play by Stolfo to keep himself pinned against the post.
Well, he's earning it right now, Stolfo is that. Most of the stops that he's made have been straight to the chest. That one was really challenging and a beautiful stop, and he had to do it twice.
A prime scoring opportunity.
Last 30 seconds of the period, Chicago up 6-3 on Illiana. It's been a little bit chippy. Palermo. Oh.
I think that was blocked by his own man, Lombard.
Lombard had to go airborne to get over that puck.
Power play over now.
Illiana kills a fourth power play. Final 5 seconds. Can they get a shot off? No, they will not. And Chicago is going to go into this third period up 6-3. And for Illiana, Eric, as soon as you get life, one of your better players gets ejected, and it looks like it really just sucked the air out of this team.
Well, I think actually he got a game, he didn't get into game misconduct. After hearing it, it looks like he got a 10-minute misconduct. So he's going to be back later into the third period. We'll see, though, if they're able to push any more momentum now. It's a 6-3 game. it's a little bit closer probably than anticipated, but Illiana still, if they have a good, strong push to the third period, they could make this a game, but they're going to have to bring everything they've got.
Illiana is going to have to find some kind of answer for this potent Cougars offense. And we are going to go ahead and send it down to Chris Labosco. He's standing by with the head coach, Brad Stofers. Take it away, Chris.
Thanks, Eric. Down here with head coach and general manager Brad Stofers. And Brad, second period there, thoughts after these first two? It seemed like at the end there the guys kind of lost the pace they had earlier on.
Yeah, just a little sloppy. We got a lead and we got a little comfortable, I think. Started to get in some bad habits. A few of the lines were still moving the puck really well and moving their feet, but you know, some of our D think it's point night. Once we get up by a few goals and then they start pinching and we get beat back on a couple odd man rushes and things like that. So we got to tighten it up, you know. Each game you got to play all three periods, so it's going to be good.
When you look at it too, your goalkeeper in Max Barr, he stopped some of those opportunities. This game could be a little bit closer if he wasn't playing as well as he has so far.
Yeah, he's playing well tonight. We haven't seen him in a few weeks, so it's good to get a look at him and see how he's progressing. He's still one of our newer guys. So getting a feel for how he plays and manages games, he's done a good job tonight. We've given him not a lot of support and given up a lot of odd man rushes. So he's done a good job keeping it steady and keeping us in it.
And to go along with that, Zatera, another guy who's back in after he had to be out because of injury. What are your thoughts of him playing in the lineup today? I almost said tonight. It's used to the night games. But today, so far, he's looked pretty good. He's got a goal, too.
Yeah, he scored a goal, which is good for his confidence, get him back rolling. Shift length's a big thing coming back from an injury after you've been out for 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of times you think you can just roll right into it, and you can't necessarily get right into it. He plays a very high-tempo, high-speed game also, which is taxing on the body after, if you take long shifts. So you got to shorten up the shifts, but he contributes both ends of the ice. He plays our style, which is an up-tempo game, offensive game. He scored a goal, so he's been rewarded for that stuff, which is good. It's great to have him back.
One other thing, power play, that's the one area where you guys haven't been too good so far. It seems like they're just looking for that perfect shot, not just trying to get it on goal sometimes, because they're actually, you got to give credit obviously to their kill too, because they've been pressuring you guys a little bit.
Yeah, they've pressured more than we thought they were going to, I think. So the first 1 or 2 we were a little bit back on our heels, and they were pressuring us more than we had anticipated, which is credit to them. We got to get a net front presence as well. And when the goalie can see shots, it's a lot easier to save than when he can, and there's traffic in front of him. I don't think we've done a good enough job, not just this game, but this season, with having a net front presence. We want the pretty goal, the cute goal. Got to get pucks and people to the net front is how a lot of goals are scored. So
yeah, I heard you shouting as I was coming over here for the intermission interview. During that last one, you were shouting that front to the guys to have somebody there.
Yeah, it's key. I mean, pucks and people to the net. You'll always see on SportsCenter the pretty goals, but that's only 10 to 15% of the goals in hockey. The rest of them are right in that area that's tight. That you got to be willing to go to those areas and win battles in those areas. And when you do, you're rewarded. So,
all right, thanks, Brad. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chris. He was down there with head coach Brad Stofers for these Chicago Cougars, and Eric, Coach Stofers has a lot to be proud of, with 6 of his players getting on the scoring column.
Yeah, balanced scoring. So again, when we go back to the 3 keys of the game, we talked about secondary scoring. And as a coach, I don't think you can be any happier than having 6 different players putting the puck in the net today for the Cougars. So we have Kropp, Zavane, Nickerson scored in that second period, Watson with a goal, Rayback with a goal, and then Zatera. So spacing that out, spreading out your offense is a good thing. It doesn't give Illiana anyone to key on a specific line because there's depth there. 3 goals per each period for the Cougars, so they keep up that pace. We'll see if they do, but that's a strong output. Yeah. Now the key is going to be going in. How does Illiana respond to get in those first 10 minutes of the third period?
Getting to Illiana, it seems like if you're the Cougars and you can just stymie number 47 Joe Starvovich, you got a good chance at really shutting out this team in the third period. We'll see what they can do. The Zambonis are on the ice. We are going to take our second intermission break. The Chicago Cougars and the Illiana Blackbirds. Cougars on top 6-3. Sportstown, Chicago.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive.
I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name's John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of ICB.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did, at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
SportsTownChicago.com is an internet sports station that is located at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, Illinois. We offer you a chance, or should I say, an opportunity, to become an on-air personality, get invited to live sporting events, and we teach you how to interact with your listeners. Get the training you need to get in the broadcasting industry. Just go to SportsTownChicago.com or dial 630-916-1700.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Oh, thank you.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
What's up, Chicago? It's Rufio. Are you looking to get hands-on training for a career in radio or TV? Just do what I did and go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Whether you're looking to be on air or behind the scenes, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting is for you. As a graduate of ICB, I was placed in an internship with KISS FM, and now I'm on the air. You can do the same. For more info, go to beonair.com/career. That's beonair.com/career.
Sports Talk.
Attention, family, friends, players, coaches, and fans. Are you a high school or college athlete that had your game covered by SportsTownChicago.com? You can relive the glory by going to our podcast section of our website to listen to all the past games over the last 2 years. Just go to the website at SportsTownChicago.com and check out the podcast section, and it'll take you right to your sport. Now that's SportsTownChicago.com.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Kevin Wood, Production Director, Next Media, Joliet.
My favorite part about going to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting was, first of all, I got to do everything here. For anybody looking to get into the program, I would say be ready to learn, be ready to get in here and really take your skills to another level on your own. The instructors can show you how to do it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Check it out. Somebody make some noise in this joint, man.
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive.
I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
We've played 2 full periods here at Leafs Ice Center, and the Chicago Cougars have a very favorable advantage, 6-3 on top of these Illiana Blackbirds. One more time, Eric O'Brien, Eric Willowhite, and Chris Labosco will pop into your picture right now for SportsTownChicago.com's coverage of the United States Premier Hockey League, and this has been an interesting game. Certainly most of our keys to the game have played out so far, Chris.
Yeah, for the most part, secondary scoring has happened. You've had the Zavane train going. The intensity hasn't been there always. It started off a little bit sluggish for the Cougars. They got better as the period went along. Then in the second period, started off pretty hot, kind of went down, then back up, and then back down towards the end of the period. So staying with things, and of course you heard Brad Stouffer's there beforehand. He's like, defenseman thinking it's point time. So you got to try and keep that.
And Eric, looking forward for the Cougars, it's a nice schedule. They get to play these Blackbirds one more time as they vie for this first place push.
That's correct. So they'll be playing at Illiana tomorrow evening. That one is a 7:30 game. And then they turn around, as they do in this league, and they'll come back and play Sunday night at the Sears Center against the Wisconsin Rapid River Kings. So
that'll be a big one, too, because that's the team. I think they're in third place right now. They're always in that 3 or 4 spot. So another big one for the Cougars. And, of course, Don't forget Mondays. You can listen on SportsTownChicago.com to Chicago Cougars All Access, and you can hear from your Chicago Cougars. We always have a couple players on, and, of course, head coach and general manager Brad Stofers.
Stofers was a good interview, I got to say. I was impressed with how long he talked to you and the things that he had to say.
He's very honest, and you have to like that from a coach.
You don't always get that from a coach, so it's a nice luxury to have. A shot goes wide. That was Lundberg. Olsen putting one in, almost deflected off in a Blackbird stick, and a goal from behind. And
wow.
That looked like Lundberg again. Was that? No, it was Letmansky.
Yeah, Letmansky, I think, was the one who got that one. So another guy onto the score sheet for the Cougars as well, as they've had multiple different scores. And see Letmansky come in behind, and he's got that long reach, and you saw the goalkeeper thought the puck was going to be coming out the other end, it looked like. So we'll watch it here. He goes to the other side. He lost his stick, too, so I think maybe he thought he was going to be able to get to his stick, but bad timing, and the Cougars get another goal.
Letmansky is the 7th Cougar to get on the board, and that's where we stand, 7-3.
When the Cougars are at their best, Eric, they have multiple people scoring. This is the kind of game they want. Multiple points, but from multiple people, not just 2 or 3 guys.
They scored within the first minute of the second period. They scored within the first minute of the third period. It was a slow start in the first period, but they've really taken off since then, Eric.
Yeah, this is the big. So getting that first goal, I think, is the best thing that can happen for the Cougars now. Doesn't mean you can relax. And again, Coach Stofers talked about that between periods. You still have to play your game. You still have to play a responsible game. But getting that first goal in the third period here definitely gives them a lead that they can work with even more.
And when you look at the Cougars throughout the season, they usually get stronger as the period goes along if you look at their goal scoring chart.
Palermo wants to get on the board and cannot do so. Dorimus tosses one down there, and now Illiana will come up a hard check. Look to be Nain smashing Rosikoff into the side boards here just below us. We've had a few hits right below us. Some nice sound for you at home.
Nice sound for us here, too.
Anytime you can hear it through headphones, you know it's got to hurt a little bit. Here comes Illiana. And couldn't quite follow through on the shot. That's because Laukkanen got in front.
Got a piece of it with his stick, and it, kind of almost a toe save by Bars. He had to stick out that left pad still to even get it. He was kind of caught in that spot where he was kind of getting out in front of his crease still, and he kind of just had to stick it out there.
That was almost like pitch and catch there from Rusakov to Bar. Just sort of tossed one to his glove. And Bar let him know, I'm still watching you.
I'm sure a couple of these guys are probably baseball players too.
Bar is 6'4". I knew he looked big.
It's a tough target to get it past, and it's proven to be the case for the Blackbirds.
Yeah, I think when you look at all the goals that Barr has given up, you can't really blame him for any of them. Maybe one of them.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, that first goal, deflection, kind of partial screen.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that one.
No.
You can't blame him for the one-on-one. I think actually the other two were one-on-one goals. So I think
right.
I think right now so far he's played a solid game. The pucks he's supposed to stop, he has.
Right.
They're on the right wing circle working into the center, and that's Stavovich. He has 2 goals already, and that is the biggest threat for Illiana. As long as the Cougars can put a man on 47, they should be okay the rest of the way. In front shot, and another goal.
That one was just too easy for Mike Watson there.
Yeah, Stofo had a clean look at that, and he couldn't come up with it.
You know what, though? That's a shot from the high slot. Watson has everywhere to go. And it all starts here behind the net. You see that the Blackbirds, they were too far down, so they give a lot of room for Mike Watson to shoot. And there's maybe even a partial screen in front there created by their own team. So the captain getting on the board for another goal.
It's to the point where Chicago scores a goal and they don't even show any emotion. There's no high five or anything for about 3 seconds. They just go as their business.
Business as usual. And that's the first multi-goal scorer we have in the game, too, guys, as that's the second for Mike Watson.
An unlikely scoring leader for this game.
He's missed a lot of time because he had a concussion earlier that had kept him out for a while, and he's been finally getting back into the flow of things, and I think he's really starting to come on here in these last couple of series for his team, and he is the captain of the team.
Yeah, you're starting to see Illiana really doesn't have an answer right now. They just need something positive to happen, but it's just not happening.
Spirits are being tested for the red sweaters, for the white jerseys. This is all fun. Everyone probably can't wait to get off that bench and get their chance at this goalie. And as you said, it's not Stolfo's fault.
No, not at all. I don't think you could have blamed the first goalkeeper for Illiana as well in Krastensen. I mean, there's maybe a goal or two that he should have stopped, but even still, he gave up, I think, 6 or 5. Right. So it's still a lot of goals that are not just on him.
Zvane will drop that one off for
net off the mooring here. Yeah, sometimes they'll do the goalie change, obviously, to change up the fortune of the team. It's hard to say if that was the thinking of Reed Simpson's decision to pull the goalie there, but either way, it hasn't had the intended effect. The team, has only put up 3 goals so far, and they're facing a 5-goal deficit.
Might have been just to keep his goalie spirits up.
That could be too, right? That was his first game.
Looked like Zvane was dropping it off for Nickerson, and he just plowed through the goal. So Nickerson will try a shot. Nothing close there. Stavovich tries to clear it out. A race to the puck, and that will be icing.
So a little fact, our coach for Illiana, Reed Simpson, former NHL player. He was drafted by the Flyers, I think, in 1989.
Played for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, he played for the Blackhawks for a bit. He played for several teams. Kind of one of those lunch pail enforcer types in the league. Obviously, drafted by the Flyers, you could see a little bit of that. I think one year he had a high of 260 penalty minutes with Albany in the AHL. So he definitely knows his way around the gloves, shall we say.
And once again, don't forget about Chicago Cougars All Access every Monday, 2 to 3 o'clock p.m.
The Cougars working with an 8-3 lead over the Blackbirds. And now they're just shooting from wherever they can, looking to pick up any garbage in front of the net. It looks like Illiana is going to have to really have their will tested here and their spirit for how much they want to compete.
And I think Brad Stofers is probably happy with the effort his team is giving here in the third period, too, as you watch that last save. Easy save for the goalkeeper, but still, his team is keeping the intensity up and keeping the pressure on, not getting into lazy habits.
Olsen slides one in on goal, but no problem there for Stolfo. One of the few easy chances he's had.
Yeah, for Stolfo, I mean, he's seeing a lot of shots. I'll be curious to see the post-game stats to see how many shots exactly this team will have seen total. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to the 40 mark or even above it.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way.
Chicago still playing with a lot of energy as that pass intercepted by Peters. Going to get some new Cougars on the ice here.
Yeah, Krolak took a shot off the leg there. Nothing intentional, but definitely didn't feel good.
And Lemansky couldn't quite get over the board on the line change. He fell down. That will give up the puck. And the Cougars are able to take it away. And again, Lemansky. A shot and a stick save by Stolfo. Stolfo getting way out of the goal and getting that puck in his chest, holding it tight. A lot of players in front to clean it up, but
yeah, he wanted to cut down the angle, like you said. He came out of the net, got to cut down the angle and shot for the point there.
Which you need to do.
Right. A little bit of loose change there, but he was able to cover it up fairly quickly.
Remus has not found any net quite yet, but he's certainly had plenty of chances sitting out on that corner, top of the left wing circle, just slapping it in.
Yeah, you just want Willie DeRemus taking smart shots from up there, not getting them blocked, and then maybe going for a breakaway the other way.
Nice keep.
That's Palermo. Lemansky does another job of stealing the puck. He's got some length on him. Backhand by Krustikov, can't get in there. And here come the Cougars. Speedy. And again, the playing surface you see having an impact in this game.
Yeah, a lot more edges lost than I thought we would normally see. Maybe the ice, maybe it's a little soft.
Palermo coming up coast to coast from the right side, and a shot goes wide. Deflected. Looked like to be off the left shin pad.
Or would it be too hard, the ice? Either way, it's one of the two, where it's just you're not catching that and holding that edge well.
Vervliet tries a shot, no good. And this will be Svein
really
tracking the puck down. Svein and Nickerson trailed by Rayback.
That off the boring again.
So one of the things you talked about before, Chris, was some of the minutes that the top line players are playing for the Cougars. I think right here, Coach Elfers is looking for an opportunity to spread that out a little bit. You have a 5-goal lead. You have 2 games coming up tomorrow night and Sunday night.
Yeah.
You're playing the same team tomorrow night. So here's an opportunity to kind of spread your bench out a little.
I think he's going with that regular rotation of lines right now. You know, you spend your 30 seconds or whatever it might be out there and then off right away. There hasn't been anybody too long. Like you're seeing the top line here stay on for the end of this shift here, but I'm sure they'll be off right away depending on what happens on the face-off here, if they get a shot opportunity or what happens.
And the Cougars come away with the face-off, well, for the time being at least. Not how they wanted it. Now, guys, looking back at that replay, it appeared that Stolfo, without any influence, kind of knocked his own goal out of the way. Is that any kind of a technique when someone's in behind you to just stop play?
Well,
it can be.
I was going to say, when you're pushing off, if it goes off, you're not going to be upset about it as a goalie. That's for sure. And
I've rarely seen refs call that too. It has to be something that's
very
blatant. Yeah.
I mean, that net's been doing that all day for both teams too. I think it's more just that net isn't as solid as some of the other ones are.
A couple of players down, a couple of sticks down. Looks like Svein getting tumbled over, and he's not happy about it.
Poya in the middle of that again.
A much bigger Svein. Looks to be 26. Poya, yeah. You said it, Eric. He's going to take some penalty time here, but he had a smile on his face, almost like.
That's not new for Poya. So coming into the game here.
Not afraid to mix it up, you're saying?
No, not at all. Not at all. 101 penalty minutes coming into the game, so just adding to that total. You know, he's a scrappy instigator.
Chicago's gotten on the board 8 times in this affair, but I don't believe any of them have come off the power play. Ironically enough, Illiana plays better a man down.
And like Brad Stuffer said, they weren't ready for that pressure that they were putting on from the way that they played them last time.
Schiffman was taking a free run at the goal and just couldn't find the puck on the shot. Olsen blasted one in there, and that will be stopped, so Illiana will clear. Olsen doing a nice job preventing that. Another shot into the chest.
You'll take that hold by Illiana. Let your team get some changes. As we watch there, you saw that the player brought it out in front for Illiana, and number 21, like he was going to, and Fiandenka, it looked like he was going to give it to his goalie to hold on to.
All right.
But then he's like, oh no, I got a chance to maybe clear it, but also with a good hold, kept that one in.
1:22 on the Chicago power play. As they win the faceoff, Svein over Lemansky.
It's a small thing, but another thing the Cougars have been good at as the game's worn along is winning those faceoffs. I think Illiana was getting the early advantage, but the Cougars seem to have stepped that up since at the end of the first period.
Barcy in the puck for the first time in the last 10 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it a lot since the early part of the third period.
Working on a 5-point lead, Doremus wants more. He had that center, and Nickerson couldn't hold it. Ooh, and awkward fall there by Palermo. You hope he's okay. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, he just had to stick his skate out to try and block that one, and it just caused him to lose his edge. It's like a rail suddenly changing on a train track. Train's not going to stay on the rails if that happens.
No. Good thing when Doremus went in on that rush, Vane stayed back a little bit, as you're supposed to do as the forward.
That's good recognition, and obviously there's got to be some communication as well.
And now Palermo's going to come off. His replacement, that's Laukinen tracking down the puck, and Nickerson. Laukinen looking from the outside. Nickerson in front. Backhander, no.
Nickerson looked like he's on a mission this shift.
Lomberg actually blocked the shot for Gavin Nickerson. He had a lot of net to shoot at.
Here comes the Blackbirds. Oh, and he needed that shot on the one-timer. He took one extra step.
Yeah, I don't think he had problems corralling the puck, and then by the time he did, he was well low. He just missed his opportunity.
Krolak vying for his second goal, and Svein getting into it with a lot of red sweaters.
And Anthony Svein was a little bit off sides there too. That was the cause. You see Lomberg couldn't quite hold the skate on the blue line to stop the whistle from happening. I think you're getting a change here too. You're seeing, I think it's that third or fourth line out for the Cougars on the power play here to enter. Well, it's back to 5-on-5 now, excuse me.
Another draw win for the Cougars.
Illiana kills another power play. It's very strange that the Cougars have no problem scoring when it's 5-on-5, and they just can't find the net when they're a man up.
They're a pretty good man down, too.
And Olsen looking for his first goal of the night.
Waiting to see what this whistle was called for here. You got a player down for the Cougars in Brennan Peters.
Yep.
You've got the box open. They're calling a cross-check.
Yeah, cross-check into Peters by Sands.
But here's the thing.
No, Keller.
The Cougars had the puck. So that's why I'm shocked about the whistle.
Right.
Is nobody, it didn't seem like anybody on Illiana had enough control of the puck to cause the whistle.
And so as it is, another power play for Chicago. Or is it a double? I don't know if the scoreboard's having trouble or what.
Well, I think they just put it up on the wrong side and then put it on the other side.
Judging by the number of people on the ice, it's
there we go.
Another advantage for Chicago. We'll see if they can finally capitalize on a power play. Not that they need to. Already up 5.
Well, they don't have the option to decline it, so you might as well score, right?
You get more work on it, that's for sure.
And
they've needed it so far. One thing that Brad Stofers was very adamant about, net front presence, not enough of it by the Cougars.
Well, let's see if they can do that on this power play then.
Hard shot goes wide. Nickerson fighting for the puck, and Palermo comes over to help. His shot. Score! And it's 9-3, and Chicago finally capitalizes on their power play.
I want to see, too, because that didn't look like it was going to be an opportunity for a goal. It was kind of just a low wrister, maybe looking for a rebound is what it looked like.
Right.
And I think maybe just positioning was a little bit off there. As we get to look at this one more time, I mean, good work here by Palermo. He gets up near the top of that circle, and I guess maybe positioning a little bit off and just missed it. Didn't get out far enough to play the shot big, cut off the angle.
And Palermo makes it 8 Cougars on the board.
I think it's one of those things, though, they're fortunate, too. You know, Coach Stouffer's talked about net front presence. That shot, as good as it is that it went into the net, when you take a look at the replay there wasn't a Cougar anywhere near in sight around the net.
I think that was in part, too, because they had to try and regain possession of that puck is why. But you're right, there wasn't any.
Chicago again.
And it may seem like nitpicking. I mean, you're up 9-3, but again, you want to continue to work on the things that are going to make your power play successful.
Especially when you have to play the Dells Ducks one more time, and you want to win that series against them to maybe pass them up as the number 1 team in the Western Conference.
Illiana just hoping to save any kind of face in this game at this point.
High stick there. A little bit of a later whistle than I thought, too. As soon as he touched it, it kind of took a little bit of a breath before the whistle came. But it was definitely a high stick, so good call by the official.
Maxim Karpikov is back on the ice after being sent to the locker rooms early in the second period. And I'm sure Illiana's coach will use that as a teaching moment for him of you just can't lose your cool, especially when they were finally getting some life, the Blackbirds were.
Yeah, that did seem to be an unfortunate turn of events for them at that point in the game.
Chicago still wants more. They want double digits.
And on the Illiana side, you have 5 minutes left in this game. You're going to be playing the Cougars again tomorrow night. So why not get something positive going at this point that you can bring into tomorrow night's game? So never too late to build up some momentum and see if it can carry over game to game. I'm usually not a believer in that, but Illiana needs something positive to build from.
Maynard scoops the puck up, and now Karpikov is... Someone lost their stick over there, and the puck comes up here.
It's okay, Ryan Fahey. Puck's not coming near you. I got you. I got you.
Man down.
I believe Laukkanen lost his stick. See if he has it back or if he checked out of the game.
I think it was Lomberg, actually. And it was weird because he just kind of went flying in the air.
And Illiana.
Yeah, it might have been one pass too many there. You're right in on the goal. Just let it go.
But here they come again. Austin Ayers shot no good.
It's good for Barr to stand tall and be ready there. He hasn't seen much activity.
Maynard trying one. Nope. Slapped in and deflected off of Barr's glove. And Chicago will clear their zone.
Barr's got a pretty good glove hand, but he hasn't grabbed a whole lot of them.
Starvovich already with 2 goals trying to make a move. Under 4 minutes to go in the game. Peters and the Cougars trying to kill the time.
Long weekend, though, for the Cougars. 3 games. That's not something you see often by teams that have to play 3 in a row. And, of course, the team that they got to play at the end is the River Kings, who the last 2 times they played each other, very close games.
That game will be Sunday night at the Sears Center.
And we'll have that live for you, of course, here on SportsTownChicago.com. We watch a replay of that one going to the glove hand.
Now, Illiana don't necessarily need to put the pedal to the metal, but you'd like to see them run a play or two as Pollock trying to vie for his second goal of the night.
Would have been a good opportunity if that puck wasn't as on edge as it was. May have gotten a goal there. That's something the Cougars will have to look at to not allow a player to get free like that, even late here.
Ooh, and not happy about what's going on in front of their own bench with the Cougars.
Yeah, there was some of that was self-inflicted by the Cougars, though. Knocked a man down on their own man.
Meanwhile, Illiana right in front of the net, and Barr another nice save.
It's a big body, and when he gets down low, you've got to try and go up higher on him if you're Illiana.
Right.
I haven't seen them. Most of their goals have been up high, too, is the thing. As you see the kick to get it to the stick, and just not a lot on it. That puck was a little bit on edge. That's probably why he couldn't send it really anywhere else for Kyle Fahey.
Guys, I don't know if I'm just noticing this or if it's been the case all game, but other than the speed, the Cougars just look much bigger, or this is just a very small line for Illiana, as you see with Fahey and...
I think that the Cougars do have a little bit more size, but I'd say they're fairly even in that category. But yeah, the Cougars are a big team.
And Fahey does a nice job of not letting Lemansky buy him there. Otherwise, that could have been 10 goals for the Cougars. Lemansky, his motor is still running full. He's going all over the ice here as we're in the final 2 minutes of the game. Chicago, a 6-point lead, will certainly go on to win their 25th game of the season.
When you look at it for the Cougars, too, everybody's scoring 8 different guys tonight. They haven't done that in a little bit. You want to keep that as your MO, because especially when you talk about a team like the Dells Ducks, yeah, you want your top guys scoring against them, or even the River Kings. You need that secondary scoring, though, too. It doesn't have to be all your scoring, but at least a goal here and there.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of times when you're talking about top teams, top lines cancel each other out. So then where does that secondary scoring come from? What's happening on special teams, power play, penalty kill?
And the Cougars have some guys that they can bring in and scratch it if somebody's not playing well on one of those lines. So that competition is there is the good thing, too. If you're not playing well, you will be sitting out in the stands in a suit.
And with 8 people on the scoring column, how do you choose 3 stars?
I think probably Mike Watson got to be one of them, since he's the only guy who got 2 of them.
Starvovich on the other end has 2. On the losing end. Final minute here, final 40 seconds actually. Chicago wants 10.
Rough play behind the boards there.
Physicality has not faltered one bit. Final 30 seconds now. Coach Stofers certainly has to be pleased with this finishing effort from his Cougars. Stavovich trying to do it all his own. Oh, Maynard paid the price for catching that puck. In the final 5 seconds now, and in front of the goal.
I think Watson.
It
Watson
almost looked like it snuck by.
There.
It looked like it snuck by. It did not. They will not get 10 goals, but they do finish with a 9-3 win, the Chicago Cougars, over the Illiana Blackbirds.
Well, an impressive performance there by the Cougars. So going into the end of the second period, 6-3 score. Talked about the Cougars averaging 3 goals a period. Well, what did they do? They got another 3 goals here in the third. And we finished with a 9-3 victory for the Cougars. Very impressive. I think you can see their depth really won out as the game progressed.
The handshakes are well earned. The Cougars will go to center ice. It almost looked like they were going to go shake the Blackbirds' hands, but I'm not sure what
I think they're doing the salute to the fans.
So they will circle around and salute this scattered crowd.
Nice
couple of high fives from
there.
family. as they announce the 3 stars of the game. Joey Palermo, your first star.
Nick Kropp, second star.
And no surprise there, as your number 1 star is Mike Watson, and that's exactly who our own Chris Labasco is standing by with. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. Here with the captain, Mike Watson. Hey, 2 goals today. You guys had up and downs, but for the most part, you guys played pretty well against this Illiana Blackbirds team.
Yeah, I think it was really good. Kind of a slow start, but I thought it showed a lot of character, whole team character, coming out and battling back.
Yeah, they managed to score first on you guys, but you guys didn't let that get you down. First period really kind of took it to them towards the end. Third period I thought was one of the better period for you guys. What was your thoughts, when you guys do get up as much as you do, how do you keep that intensity?
I think the one thing that's really big for us is just team consistency and being consistent for a whole 60 minutes. And I think that if we're going to take this thing deep, that's something that we need to improve on. Today was a big step, just coming in, and we've always been kind of a third period team, which not necessarily a good thing, but I think it's good that we're able to put up so many goals in the third period when we sometimes start slow.
And I think you guys are best too when not just one guy is scoring, 8 different guys scoring today. Almost said tonight. I keep thinking that it's a night game, but 8 different guys scoring. Obviously, you get 2. That's good, but how important is it to have everybody involved?
I think that's really good because especially when we get third and fourth line guys contributing and also some contribution on the back end. I think that's huge. Don't have to ride our top 6 guys as much, and kind of takes the pressure off us, which is nice. But I think that overall, if we can just get everyone scoring, keep improving our depth, I think that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah, 2 more games this week. One more time with Illiana down at their place, and then Sunday you guys are back at the Sears Center for a big game against the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. Is it important too, just to, 3 games in a row, let's get the Lions rolling so you can sit on the bench a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very good. I think we can't look past this team tomorrow. We had some kind of scary moments today where it was like, we got to pick it up, and I think we just have to take it one game at a time and worry about Sunday's game when it comes.
Well, congrats on your first star, and appreciate you talking to us, Mike. All right, that was your captain, Mike Watson. Back to you guys, Eric and Eric.
Eric and Eric, I like the sound of that. Boy,
Sounds good.
That captain sounded out of breath, didn't he?
Well, hey, he put in 2 goals and assists tonight, first star of the game. Why not? That was a heck of a performance by him. He was very noticeable on the ice, not just from the standpoint of being on the score sheet, but just being available.
Certainly a hard-earned first star for Mr. Watson, as he not just goals numbered 9 and 10 on the season, part of 8 players who jumped onto the scoring column. And for Coach Brad Stofers, that's an excellent sign as you're about to play this team again tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for the same thing. He's obviously you're never going to be perfect. Each coach is going to strive to have their team to try and be as perfect as possible. There's going to be mistakes. He just wants his team to minimize those mistakes. He knows his team's deeper than Illiana. He knows that if they play their game and they play their game the right way, they're going to wind up on top. And it's just a matter of making sure that they maintain that intensity. Again, the things we talked about, the 3 keys of the game at the beginning. And maintain the intensity.
And you're getting a montage of those 9 goals. They tried to get 10. We thought they had it right there at the end as you were running down there to get the interview, Chris.
Yeah, Mike almost had his hattie. I didn't want to mention it and didn't want to bring up some sore subjects there with him not getting the hat trick, but it's always good to talk to the captain. You see why he's the leader of the team, too, just with the way that he goes about everything there at the end and talking about how, we can't be satisfied. And for a team that wants to go far, that's what you need.
And we were just talking, Eric and I were, about how you play this team again tomorrow. It's a good sign, especially as you're fighting for that first place spot and chasing those Dells. What needs to change for Illiana?
For Illiana, I think they did some good things. I just don't know if they got the talent. I think that's the biggest thing for them. And And maybe this year it's not going to be the case. So just play the way that you can play. Just play your system as best as possible, and you can still be in a game if you're able to eliminate some of the chances that they gave to the Cougars. I mean, puck possession time, even if you're a team that's slow, that's something that you can still win.
Right.
So that's an area I think for them especially they need to try and improve.
I think early on to set the tone too with some chances for Illiana and passes just going wide. The timing seemed off all night.
Yeah, they did. And again, we talked about they got out of the gate strong, coming in as the road team per se, coming in and getting the early goal, getting the early lead. Looks like they had their legs under them a little bit more than the Cougars did from the outset. But as Chris alluded to, the talent levels on the team, there's an obvious disparity. So it's almost as if Illiana has to play the perfect game to stay in contention with the Cougars in a game. Whether or not they're capable of doing that, we'll see. They have a game tomorrow night in their barn. But they're going to have to put together a stronger performance, and like you said, puck possession is a key.
And that's not to say that there's not talent on the Illiana Blackbirds. There's definitely some really good players that they would, I was talking to Brad Stofers in between periods, and he's like, I wish I could have a guy or two on their team. I like what I see.
I think we're talking about depth, though, overall depth.
But overall depth, definitely, from top to bottom, you have to give it to the Cougars.
Okay.
But for Illiana, like I said, puck possession time is a big thing when they look at the game tomorrow. This is a team in the Cougars that does have 3 games in a row and a big opponent on that third game. Maybe you catch them thinking a little bit too much about the next game and not focused on the Saturday game that's right in front of them, and maybe you can jump on them early. I mean, they did get the first goal in the game, too, to point out, but they didn't keep the momentum.
Exactly.
Was that a wake-up call for the Cougars coming out sluggish and then all of a sudden you're down 1-0?
I think so. I really do. Especially with this team, they are I would say they're probably the most talented team that I've seen in this league. So on any given day, they should be able to win any game. So even against the Ducks are a pretty talented team, but I think the Cougars have more talent than them even.
Kind of interesting. Max Barr certainly could have been one of the stars. A big goalie. We said 6'4", and he has some length. He can really cover that goal. But he hasn't been the starter all year. We had 2 starters marked, and all of a sudden it was Barr. Do you like Barr going forward, or do you go back to who you had before?
Well, I think this was a good game for Barr. All the goals weren't his fault. He's a new guy to the team. He is. He's third weekend, maybe. That's it. So I think for Brad, he's still getting to know this goaltender, and obviously they want to get him more time. But when you already kind of know who your top 2 guys are, just because they've been here the entire time, he knows them better. It's a little bit harder to really. You have to let him work his way and earn that spot to try and jump one of those 2 guys.
The Chicago Cougars, a 6-point win, 9-3 over the Illiana Blackbirds. They'll do it all again tomorrow. I kept saying tonight. Don't check outside. It's still day. This was an afternoon game, a very odd thing. But tomorrow they'll be back tomorrow night, and the same 2 teams will go at it. For Chris Labosco, Eric Willowhite, I am Eric O'Brien. Thank you for watching Sportstown Chicago's coverage of the United States Premier Hockey League. We will see you next time.